And yeah, so I'm going to be looking at times at the actual recipe so that I know what I'm doing, which is kind of going to be a bit of an interesting thing here. But we're going to do a pumpkin log, and then kind of thought that, sometimes like here it doesn't use a full tin of pumpkin. So we're going to do some pumpkin muffins, so a different way of doing pumpkin. So we've got the log and we've got the muffins. And then also too, because it's Canadian Thanksgiving and we will be doing our Thanksgiving on Monday. So I thought, let's do the cranberry sauce now and get it going. So that's not something we have to worry about on the day. So we'll also be doing a cranberry sauce. Not American Thanksgiving, which comes much later. Way too close to Christmas, I think, for me. That means 2 big meals quite close together. But anywho, you can make the cranberry sauce and make it, when you need it. Or also what I do is I do a batch, because we don't eat it all, and then I just freeze it. So I would freeze it now and then we'd have it again at Christmas kind of stuff. So just that practicalities. And then, yeah, it's quite nice. Do you like it, Sea Hag?
I love it. I love it all.
Well trained. She is well trained just to come up with the right answers at the right time. All right, so I just need to get my bowls. So let's see what we're doing here. Oh, I got a whole gaggle of bowls here. So I'm going to pull out 2 saucers, which I think are going to cover me for doing this. Now, the recipe that Chefy sent actually involves, you can throw all the ingredients together. So in one batch, mix it up. I'm assuming, therefore, it's a bit of a fail-safe recipe, which might be good for Sea Hag and I, as I have never had a pumpkin log. I've had Sea Hag's Bûche de Noëls, and I've had an English Yule log, which invariably is kind of either vanilla or it's chocolate, but a pumpkin log is new to me. So this is going to be fun. And of course, the fun thing is I have to eat it at the end. So that's okay. I'm sure it's going to be so good. I'm going to be very happy about that. So what we're going to do is slightly different with the recipe, because I say the recipe says throw everything together and mix. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to mix the eggs with the sugar first. Just get a bit of a whip on them, and I'm going to use cold eggs. It's one of the things learning just recently in our adventures of looking at this pumpkin log is that actually if you use cold eggs, they don't come to full whip because they're cold. That's why often they say do them at room temperature. But then in this little piece of reading was that, well, what can happen is that if you get them onto full whip, when it comes to cooking, they have no more kind of growth in them, and it can lead to your cakes
Say hi to Chef.
shrinking. Hi, Chefy! Hopefully we're going to do justice to your pumpkin log here. Yeah, and if we don't, I'm going to blame Sea Hag. That's usually my default. If it doesn't work out, I'm just going to blame Sea Hag. Yes. So we're going to use cold eggs just so that when we mix them up, we're not over whipping them. They don't get to that full volume because they're cold. And then so when they're in the oven, they kind of have a bit more lift to them. Our cake isn't going to shrink because this is a jelly roll. So we're only talking about a fairly thin cake anyway. So we don't want it to look like a pancake, because then that would be not quite what I think Chefy was experiencing in her times when she's made this. So we're going to try and get it as good as how she's made it. All right, so I need my measures. So we need 3 eggs and 2/3 of a cup of sugar. So, just getting all my little measures here. So I've got my 2/3. So I'm going to put my 2/3 of sugar in first. I told Sea Hag the other week to go get sugar, and she did. But she got this massive bag of sugar. And I'm like, whoa, I was just thinking of a regular kind of kilo of sugar. But so we're well ready for the Christmas season.
In my defense, that was the only That was the only size there was.
Yes. Everything's got supersized. We've got supersized. The bags of sugar have got supersized. I wonder if there's a connection. Yeah. We got one of these with COVID. Because, of course, we were like everybody else. It was suddenly like panic buying. Will we have enough food? And we went out and bought all the staples. And it took us a long time to get through the other bag of sugar. So I'm like, holy moly, this is going to be interesting. Anywho, what we've started to do, and I see because this actually has a cream cheese filling, kind of like, if you're like me and don't, I actually have a sweet tooth, but I don't like a super sweet tooth. So what often I do is I reduce the sugar a little bit because I can find it a little sweet. Now, pumpkin on the other side can have this kind of slight bitter undertone I find sometimes when you use it. So it's kind of a balance here. And what do you think? Do we go full sugar, Hag? Are you ready for your sweet tooth fix? Or are you thinking I want to keep my teeth?
You're the expert.
I'm the expert. Well, there you go. That's scary, folks, if I'm the expert. Okay, so, all right. I'm going to go for the full shebang, as I've never made this before, and there is a chunk of pumpkin in it. We'll see. So I put 2/3 of sugar in there. Now I'm going to put in my eggs. I didn't get a little knife here.
Yes, Sheffy, I have to admit that.
What's that?
That you are the expert.
Of course, of course. Could you pass me a plate, Hag? Or a bowl, just so I can put my eggs in, because once I've cracked my eggs, I don't want to get stuff all over the counter, because then I'd be constantly cleaning. All right. So I'm going to crack my eggs, get them in there. Oh, don't go in eggshell. So where we are, we have a composting part of our city. So these will go into the composting bin that we have. Trying to do our bit for reducing waste and reducing what goes into the landfill. All right, I'm just going to wash my hands because I've got egg on them now. Oh, yeah. So interesting, I'm actually from England originally. And the one thing I found when I first came to Canada was, why are the eggs in the fridge? Because we don't have eggs in the fridge. You'll find when you go to Europe, the eggs are actually just on the shelving. You know, you just walk along the aisles in the supermarket and you buy your eggs. No fridge. And when you take them home, you don't need to put them in the fridge. But it's something to do with how they're treated. They get washed here, the shells get washed. So I think it's the washing process that then means you got to watch out for moisture, and so they end up they need to go in the fridge just to make certain you don't get bacteria on them. Whereas in Europe, that's not the case. They don't get washed. However, like all times, I always grew up then, probably because they didn't get washed, of washing your hands after touching eggs. So I still have that thing. Not certain if you have to do that with Canadian eggs, but always recommend it because you're never certain. Okay, I haven't used this in yolks. And now I'm kind of like, okay, let's go really slow because I don't want to get egg and sugar everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to whip up my eggs and my sugar.
Are you going to put the pumpkin in?
The pumpkin's going to go after. Oh, let me whip them up slightly just to get it going.
Yeah.
But actually, this is where Hag is going to be my assistant. Can you open the tin of pumpkin?
Oh my God, okay.
Because
So, Sheffy says, I have this thing where I'm baking to crack all eggs in a cup, just as an added layer of assurance that no shells get into the batter.
oh, aren't you organized? Aren't you organized? That's actually a good idea, Sheffy.
Where's the opener? Okay. Yep.
So we actually do have a tin opener, but oh, it's not working very well. And when I try to use it, it only cuts half of the tin and not the other. So now I'm like, okay, Hag, you can deal with that. And at this precise moment, she's using a Swiss Army knife to open the tin of pumpkin, which I'm gonna like This takes me back to when I was a kid. We used to have those hand tin openers, which I imagine anyone who's a bit older may remember those, or perhaps you have it when you go camping. Oi, 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 dog. So anyway, I'm leaving it for her to cut her fingers off. Okay, let's get this thing going. All right, nice and loud. Okay, I've got that going, and I successfully didn't jettison. Jettison?
Can you say that again?
Jetterson. I added an R in there, didn't I?
I know you did.
I don't know what that was about.
I don't know either.
I was like, let's add an extra letter. I used to do that as a kid, actually. And I could never say things. I used to say escalator as opposed to escalator. And secretary instead of secretary. Thankfully, generally, I've outgrown most of that. All right, so we're just waiting for Sea Hag to do her bit. See, this is that thing. It is a Swiss Army knife that's opening this tin. And it's a big tin of pumpkin that we have. And what we're actually going to add is 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin. So I'm going to use the measurer that I actually use for my sugar.
For God's sakes, that's lethal weapon.
Yes. Got my little scraper. Let's just scrape some of this pumpkin back down. The tin was wiped and washed. Because again, these things sit on shelves, they get dusty, so I always try to get in the habit of wiping down my tins.
So Sheppy
My
says, oh my God,
pans.
is that the recipe I sent on the iPad? Yes, it is, Sheppy.
Yes, it's yours. It is all down to you that we are doing this. Because you talked about this last time and it sounded so good that we're like, oh yeah, we have to do some of that then. However, I'm a bit worried that I might be tempted to eat the whole thing, the whole shebang. Okie doke. Oh, we got a ton of pumpkin. Pumpkin is also something we give the dog when she's ill. So when we cut back and we don't give her dry food, she invariably has something like rice, a bit of meat, and a bit of pumpkin. So I'm surprised she still stood here looking at it because it's usually not her favorite. So I'm just going to bung the pumpkin in here. Get every bit because I'm so like that. Sea Hag will tell you I try to squeeze everything out of it. Okay, got that going. I'll put that back in there to the pumpkin because I'm going to need that for my muffins. Alright, so let's give this now a bit of a whiz. Now this recipe actually doesn't use any oil or butter or anything, so there's no fat in it. So it's the eggs and the pumpkin are going to kind of hold it together a little bit. Alright, so the rest of the ingredients are flour, baking soda, and cinnamon. So we'll come to that. So I just need to get 3/4 of a cup of flour. Sea Hag will talk to you a moment.
Sorry, what? I gave flour. Oh, okay. I'm the entertainer, am I? I don't know. You put so much drink. See, how cool that? Oh, what? Hey!
What was that? They didn't like your singing?
I think he just, they just didn't, they're like, see, who? What?
At this point, you can put your oven on a bit earlier, but I'm going to remember to actually put the oven on this point. So it's 350 degrees. And Celsius, was that 180 Celsius?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so here we go. Now, one of the things we had last time was I really do not like the taste of baking soda. And so this asks for 1 teaspoon of baking soda, which to me is a bit of a nightmare. Because I can taste it. Now, not everybody can taste it. I think it's a bit like cilantro. Some people love cilantro, some people don't. And so some people notice the baking soda in baking and other people don't. I unfortunately do notice it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to kind of split that a little bit. And I got my baking soda here in a jar. Because again, Seahag went to buy baking soda and came back with a huge box. So
Not going to add them yet.
I've got them here because I'm putting in the flour.
Okay. You're going to beat that up a bit more, aren't you?
I don't think it's actually going to beat that much more because it's got pumpkin. Oh my God, look, I'm getting the advice here. Advice from a creature of the sea. So I just want to say that in this household, I make the cakes because
You are the queen.
Seahag's cakes don't rise. They kind of dip in the middle, which is quite good if you like all your icing in the middle. That covers up the big dip. And so here she is giving me grief about my mixing. All right, I got a quarter of a teaspoon here. And I got 3/4 here. Okay, so I'm going to add the flour. It doesn't actually say to sieve it, but I am going to sieve it because I do find sometimes when I'm doing, because I do sourdough bread too, I do find sometimes it's a bit cakey, the flour. I don't know that it's because it's so dry here. Because we're at altitude per se. We're at that kind of altitude where you can kind of still breathe, which is handy. But it can impact your baking. Alright, so I've got in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use baking powder. Now when I looked online, it said, oh, for 1 teaspoon of baking soda was equivalent to 3 teaspoons of baking powder, which seemed a bit much to me. So when we looked at a different recipe, which is very similar to this recipe, it kind of said 3/4 of baking soda, baking powder, and then 1/4 of baking soda. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to follow. If it doesn't work out, again, I'll blame that website. And then you have cinnamon. Alright, so let me get rid of this for now. We'll need this later. So I'm going to let's see how I clean those mixers. You're going to have to prep the baking pan. Come on, work it. I do my best to be organized here. I didn't make this other pan just yet. Yes, this is when it's nice to actually have somebody else here because it kind of negates some of the having to have everything to hand. Alright, I'm just reopening the recipe. So it actually says 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now, again, we're in pumpkin time and we often hear about pumpkin spice. So pumpkin spice is cinnamon, but also other spices like cloves and anise and the aniseed and things, so different spices. So what I do is I actually mix my own. Again, something I grew up with in England is we have something that's called mixed spice. So this is my mixed spice because I actually like those other flavors. If you just like cinnamon, then just add the 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. it's kind of what you're used to, but I like that little bit of cloves and things. And I have discovered in the past couple of years actually liking anise as a spice because it has a sort of buttery taste. And yeah, and you find it in a lot of even savory cooking. Okay, so I'm actually going to put in 3/4 of a teaspoon because I do like this. Again, if you're like me, you like a lot of spice, then add a little bit more. That is okay. Okay, so I've got in there, I've got my flour, I've got my raising agent, and I've got my spice. Ba-dum. So now it's a case of folding it in. So again, you could just mix all this together so you can be a little less dainty with it. But I'm just going to fold this in. Now, again, a little bit of learning about these jelly rolls. And we're going to do it slightly different to the recipe when it comes out of the oven. But learning that actually with the jelly rolls, you kind of want it to have a little bit more of that gluten in it. A bit like, so gluten's the thing that you need your dough, your bread dough to release gluten because it helps it rise and gives it that sort of nice texture and allows air holes and things in it. One of the advantages of a little bit of the gluten in the jelly roll is it gives it a little bit of strength because you have to roll a jelly roll, and this is always the big challenge with these things. So again, you have that first thing of like, is it going to rise? And then, will you be able to mix it? Yeah, see, there you go. Will you be able to mix it? Will you be able to roll it and it not crack? So I'm just going to get my... Again, because of this caking of the flour a little bit, I'm just going to give it a little whiz with my hand whisk. Don't want to really overbeat it. I just want to break up some of those lumps that are in there, so even though I had sieved it, there was still that little bit in there. Okay, so the other thing too is baking soda needs a bit of an acid, and so normally you can add a little bit of vinegar to this. Oh, did you put the oil on already? Yeah. Okay. A bit of vinegar to this. There's not vinegar in the recipe to give it that lift, so I'm going to trust the recipe. Chefy made this, didn't say to put any vinegar in there. But again, sometimes you have recipes that ask you for vinegar, and it's kind of to help work on that raising agent. Okay. Here we go. Now, this is a 9 by 12.
I think so. No,
it's a baking pan size that it was recommended in the recipe.
Did it?
Yeah, we measured it. We actually measured. This is the one thing.
12 by 17.
What was it? It's 12 by 17, which
That's
is a bit bigger than 12 by 9.
We communicate so well together. This is not going to work. You're going to have to do it again.
Why?
Is it going to be enough?
I don't know, because that's what I'm curious about. I was like, I think these are too big, these baking pans. Okay, so we're going to have pancake roll. This is where Chefy says, I never use a sub that size.
All right.
Okay, well at least though, this is why when you do two things, you still have your muffins to give people. We followed the recipe though, yes?
Okay, and blame Sea Hank. Oh, for crying out loud, Chefy.
Okay, we're all blaming Sea Hag presently. So this is our second stream. So a little bit of leniency and being a little kind of like, what? Okay, this is going to be interesting. We're going to see how thin it actually is. Seems a little thin. Okay.
That's the best thing about recipes. It's a little like foundation that can be altered to make more or less and altered to your unique taste. Chef.
Woohoo! Okay, goes in for 10 to 12 minutes. So yeah, there it goes.
You gonna make another batch?
I'm making a different style of muffin.
Okay.
My God, it's just like, get the whip out. I at times feel like an indentured servant here. Yeah, you laughing. Look at you laughing at that. Okie doke, so I've managed to get all my flour everywhere. Okay, so that has gone in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. So given that I don't want to forget, I'm actually going to set the oven for a mid time of 11 minutes. Just going to wipe my countertop. Got the flour. Woohoo! Try and be semi-organized here. Hey, dog. All right, so now the muffins. Whew, there we go. Pressure. I feel really pressured now about this jelly roll. I have a feeling it's going to turn out to be like a pancake.
It is? Do you want to try it? Because we have the smaller one. You can do it again.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's part of the fun of cooking with Liz and
Yeah,
see how
yeah,
you
because
do
there's a
it.
part of me is like, well, there's not enough ingredient there for that.
Chefy's like, poor sea hag, getting rightfully blamed.
Okay, I initially said we should have used the smaller pan. And then, well, no, I said we should use the smaller pan, but you measured it. And it was the size that was in the recipe. So if anyone's to blame, it's Chefy.
But you said no. You said it was 12 by 17. That's the measurement I did.
So that's what
Is that in the thing? Why did you say 12 by 17?
I would have only told you what I saw in here. No, it said baking pan, and when I looked that up on Amazon, that was the size of a baking pan.
Yeah. But is there a different pan on
No,
this?
it just says here, put it in a pan.
Okay, so maybe you're blaming me for no reason whatsoever. Let's give it a go and see how it goes.
Probably. I am probably blaming you for no reason.
That looked. Now, Chefy said that looked correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Chefy.
Because
Okay.
it's flat and has raised edges. Anyway.
It's a bit like me on the beach.
Flat and raised edges. La, 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 la.
Yes, okay, all right. Moment of, we will see. If not, we will redo that. If it comes out flat, we will redo it. It's part of the practicing. It's part of our practicing.
It is.
So that we kind of be like, and you know, it's fallibility.
It
One-
is.
One of the things too in life is to learn that we are fallible. It's actually a skill that we underestimate.
The drama, the shade. That's Chefy. And let's face it, that is you and I. You and I, cooking is, we try something, it doesn't quite work, we try again. And that's what that's why you need this kind of a stream, to show that everything does not go right the first time around.
Yeah.
And the accusations of CN. Oh my God, Chefy.
What accusations?
Oh, I'm sure, I'm accusing you, I think.
Yes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the cranberry now because
Yeah.
the other muffins need an oven of 425.
Okay.
So if we have to redo our pumpkin, then that means our oven can stay at 350. We're not
Okay.
messing around going up and down, up and down.
Sounds good.
So let's do the cranberry.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get the cranberries out.
Don't get the orange.
I know. Freshly purchased Blue Water Farms. Woohoo! They're a good source of vitamin C, it's helped me. So first and foremost, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash them. And we'll get them all washed and clean. Can you just cut open the bag for me whilst I get the orange? And then...
Yeah.
So on the actual bag of cranberries that you buy, I'm sure these is fairly standard, there's a recipe.
And that's in the Discord.
Yeah, so it's in the Discord what we're going to use. So, yep, you're going to have to flip it up and hold the thing. But there's a recipe on the back. And often what I do is, this is kind of my starting point. So I'm like, oh, okay, there's a recipe. Let's go for that. And then I tweak it. So I'm actually the queen of tweaking something to adjust it to my own.
Queen of tweaking.
Wow. Wow. That actually gives a whole different... All right. That gives a whole different theme to this stream now. I am the queen of doing slight changes.
We're in the middle of an ad.
Okay.
So, you know.
Good, because I want to get this thing to stand up. Okay.
Yes?
I'm just laughing at being the queen of tweaking. Do we still have an advert?
Oh yeah. You can go ahead and wash and stuff.
Tell me when there's like that.
Yeah. Oh, I have to go edit that. See, Hag, what did I do? What? We're finished with the ads.
Okay.
Blue is just washing the
The cranberries.
cranberries.
And I'm just looking for any of the bad ones. Because, there's always in these kind of packs of things, a couple of ones that aren't that great. So just have a look through for the soft and squishy ones that are a bit past their best. There's a few in this packet that are a bit light, but I think they should be okay. Yeah, I'm taking out the ones that look a bit manky. You can translate, see, Hag?
Yes, manky means looks just a bit off, looks like they might be just turning, that kind of stuff.
Alright, so I need a pan. So I'm going to put these in a pan. So this is the packet. I took out about 2, 6, 9, 12. I took out about 13 of them that were a bit dodgy. So I'm going to put the rest in there. And so now I have my cranberries. Now, recipe asks for, and it says 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of liquid. So I have an orange. What are you going to do with that orange?
No, you're out, so bring it lower. There.
Okay. 1 orange over here, 1 orange over here. Okay, so there's an orange here. What am I going to do with the orange? This is where I actually start making some slight adjustments to personalize, not tweak. So I'm the queen of personalize. And so I'm gonna put a bit of orange in there. So the orange I'm going to add is a bit of the juice, and I nearly lost it, and some of the zest. So some of this orange part. Don't necessarily want much of the pithy part, but I'm going to do the orange part. So again, I have to wash the orange because it can get, just the way they process them and then in the transit and stuff, they can get a bit dirty. So I'm just going to wash the orange, and the orange is going to get a bit of a scrub just because it has all those pits. Ooh, look at that. So I actually washed it with a steel, alright, I'm going to take my clean tea towel, with a steel, one of those steel scrubbers, very lightly, release this lovely smell of orange. So I haven't actually like scrubbed it down so there's none of this zest left, but I've just tried to get into the little holes that you get in here, the pithy part, just to get them clean. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to get a plate to catch my zest. Alright, where are the plates? There's the plate. Okay. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Alright, two things for my orange here. I have this, which will actually give me kind of bigger pieces of zest. So sometimes in your recipe, let's take a bit more of that so we can actually see it. Sometimes, can you see that? Sometimes you want bigger bits. Yeah, so it's kind of on you that these kind of would get cooked in the cranberry so they wouldn't be massively chewy. But, so you have a choice. So a little gizmo like this can give you these larger pieces of zest. And then we have, what is this called?
It's a grater, or
It's a fancy little grater.
I'm sure.
I think there is actually a name for it, I'm sure. So this will actually, a bit like a cheese grater, you get your orange and you go across. And you see I'm starting to go through a bit off that top surface. And then underneath I get much smaller cut of the zest. So here, yes, you take a look there, see Hank? So the zest is much smaller.
Oh.
Well, that's interesting.
It didn't work out, babe.
So the pumpkin log looks like it's on its way to becoming Yorkshire pudding.
Alright, let's leave it for another minute.
I don't think it's cooked yet. But anyway.
No.
So let's start with, and after this we may just like show you how to make peanut butter sandwiches. Things that don't require an awful lot. See, isn't it that thing? We should have practiced this.
We should have practiced it.
Yeah. So I'm taking off. I don't want to go too deep in here because I don't want to end up in that pith. Because the pith ends up being too bitter. And again, you can look at this and say, okay, how much orangey taste do I want in my cranberries? So we've got about a teaspoon here of the pith. I'm going to do just a little bit more. Again, do less or none if you don't like it, but just going to do a little bit more of the pith here. And I'm going to pretend that there isn't pumpkin log. We're just working on pumpkin muffins today. Alright, okay, so I'm going to go and I'm going to just take all my bit of pith here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to rinse this, because like any grater, I find that if you rinse it immediately, it doesn't get dried into the little grooves, and then it's hard to get out. You put it in the dishwasher and you still find little bits of dried zest on there. So I'm just going to give it a quick rinse, to do that, do you want to get some of the cooling rack? Should I get a cooling rack?
Yeah, I got a cooling rack out there.
Superstar. Okay. All right. So we have this funky looking loaf. Loaf.
See, she says, "Oh, CI, what did you do?" I think it's cooked.
I think as well.
There. It's right there. I have it. Where did I wait?
Part of it, the pumpkin. So the pumpkin's going to make it a bit heavier. Because there's no, and this is an error I made when I did it. Trying to get it kind of to be thin, even. Because there's no fat in it, it's not going to spread.
Right.
So that was the thing we kind of missed there. Because without the fat, all right, that's going to work.
Yeah, it's gonna work.
Could you put tinfoil on it,
Put
please?
tinfoil on it. It's gonna work.
So this is a slight difference we're doing with the pumpkin log. Is that the recipe is, and traditionally, you get your cake out of the oven, and then you put it onto a tea towel. So your tea towel has icing sugar on it, powdered sugar. You flip it over whilst it's just come straight out of the oven, and then you kind of do this roll of it so that you get it into that roll shape. And then when you want to put the filling in, you gently open it up, you put the filling in. And the reason you roll it is so that it has a bit of that memory, so that then when you come to roll it up with your filling, it's not cracking. So when we were looking around this, because there's always a part of me that's like, ooh, a cake is actually quite fragile when it's first coming out of the oven. It's not cooled down any. That's why usually the suggestion is before you take a cake out of its pan, you like give it a moment to actually cool, 5 minutes, or even leave it too cool. So we've actually put tin foil on the top, so aluminium foil. With the idea is it keeps the moisture in, this is what we read, keeps the moisture in so that we actually don't need to do that pre-rolling, and then we don't need to risk our jelly roll being too fragile.
But again, it's another test.
Yeah, it's another test. We should change this from Witch's Pantry to Witch's Who Knows what's going to happen.
No, Witch's Laboratory.
Oh,
where
yes.
we're testing stuff.
Yes. And we should actually then say, move it to the cellar. All right, so I'm going to get another of my spatulas. I love these cheap ones from the dollar store because they're more flexible. And they're cheap. Okie doke. So I've put in my orange zest. Can you see that?
Yep.
So my orange zest is in there. Oh, look, there's one. I missed a gammy one. So this is what you want to watch for. It's a bit like any other fruit or things. You get ones that are slowly started the rotting process. Okay, so it says a cup of sugar. Again, we have a lower sweet tooth, so I'm not going to put a cup of sugar in this time. You guys then do it to your own taste. But I'm coming down to more like 2/3. 2/3 of a cup of sugar. Pardon? I know cranberries are... Yeah, I'm just trying to get mine because I'm on a half here. Cranberries I know are a little stringent. No, no, what? This is 3/4. Okay, so that's my sugar in there. And I'm going to get my water and realize this is actually 3/4 of a cup. This is why sometimes I have a preference for weighing things. I get less discombobulated. Okay, so there's my sugar in, and my liquid. And I'm going to get this going. So I'm going to get it on the pan, going to heat it up, and start cooking it up. And so if I look at the actual recipe on the bag, so the instructions are then I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put it on the back burner here. Everything's in there. And I'm going to bring it to the boil and then turn it down to a medium heat. And you cook it until the berries pop. So I'm just going to put her up there in a higher heat until it gets to boil. And then I'll put a lid on it and let it, see, this is where I start working out. Can I still remember sizes to get the lid that matches the pan? Oh, what did I forget?
What did you forget?
Okay, so I haven't put in the juice yet. I'll put the juice in I'll just get it a little bit going and cooking. Because I personally find if you cook the citrusy stuff, the actual juice part, it can disappear after it's boiled up for a while. So I'm going to add this a little bit at the end. And the other thing I'm going to add is we have some port. Yeah. So I like port. Port is a red wine that has brandy in it. So it's a fortified wine, but it tends to be sweeter. And so it just gives it that little bit of extra oomph, and I find a bit more depth to the taste and the flavor, and a little bit more kind of luxurious thing for your cranberry sauce. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this thing orange in half. See, Hank, can you get me the juicer, please?
I have to remember where the bloody juicer is.
Yeah. Where did that go? Where did that go? And then we'll get going on to the muffins. So I'm actually going to pump up the temperature for the muffins because it has the temperature is 425.
Are we going to put the filling into the muffins?
It gets baked into it.
So we need to make the fillings as well.
Yes, so I'm just getting that going whilst I do this. So I'm just going to juice. Got my handy little juicer here. I love these things. I find them easier than the ones that are actually you put the orange onto. Yeah, so I got myself a little bit of orange there. Just add a little bit towards the end. Coolio. So I'm just going to put that over there. Remind me to add the orange.
Yes.
So many things to think about. I'm just getting rid of all my paraphernalia. Maybe. Did you eat it? Because it's not nice, you're not going to like it. It's a cranberry. So the dog wants to eat everything. And if it hits the ground, then it's sort of like mine, fair game. Okay. So, see, Hank.
Yes?
Okay, so we have two slightly different types of cream cheese that we're doing.
Yes.
Because the one that goes in the oven actually has an egg yolk in it.
Is it?
Yeah. I think that's to stop it from just melting and disappearing.
Is that in the recipe? I didn't see that in the recipe.
No, because this is a different muffin recipe we're doing.
Oh, okay. Alright, so do you want me to do something?
No, I'm just asking. So, we should do the cream cheese first and then bake the muffins?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then, so let's do the cream cheese for the log, and then we'll do the cream cheese for the muffins.
Sounds good.
You know, there's no point having a helper if they're just like shrugging at you.
Do you want me to do it?
Shrug? No. No. You sit there, sugar plum. Okay, so let me just have a look.
I'm just like, yep. I'm your punching bag, aren't I?
Yep.
Yep. And I'm your insult ball.
Okay, so this has the cream cheese, yolk. You're not my punching ball. That's not nice. I'm just checking and comparing the two cream cheese recipes.
Okay.
And so this one is 8.
Steffi says, no, no, sweetie, you sit right there and look pretty. Don't lift a finger. Okay, so in my defense, Glue hates it when I'm in the kitchen, when she's in the kitchen. Like, you can just feel the tension. I'm actually concerned about my own survival when I go in the kitchen when she's baking.
You are not. I just slightly push you out of the way. Okay, where's the recipe going? La la la. Okay, entertain yourself because something's happening with the internet.
Oh, is there something wrong with the internet? Okay, hasn't stopped the stream, so.
No, just with this. There's one of those, you know, click, blit, loses things. All right, so that has 2 teaspoons granulated sugar. Okay.
Whitby break.
Sing and dance time, dog.
Whitby! Exploit the dog.
So where's the recipe then?
Sea hag and her tall tales. Oh. I try my best, Chefy.
Okay, I can't seem to pull up the recipe.
Here, do you want my phone?
Yeah, because it's giving me this, but it doesn't actually have the image of the recipe.
Okay, hang on.
Okay, this is like amuse yourself. Oh, okay, my cranberries under a boil, so I'm going to reduce them. Oh, you can smell the zest of the orange. Can you see the cranberries? We've still got the kettle there.
Yeah, it's over on the side too. So.
Okay, I can bring it forward. Yeah? You want me to bring it forward? Okay, let's bring them over. So, journey of the cranberries. So they're boiling away. And you can start seeing some of them are popped. Okay, so I'm just going to let that cook. I don't mind actually it losing a bit of liquid because I'm going to add still just a little bit more.
There you go. If you want to give me the iPad, I'll do it as well.
Yeah. So I think it's a fairly straightforward recipe for cream cheese. So it's a packet of cream cheese, 8 ounce, 1 cup of powdered sugar, vanilla, and some butter. Okay, we can do that. So I've got my butter. It's amazing how expensive things have got these days.
Oh, has it ever?
That when we go into the shop and things, you're like, we're on the no name. Not that we never used to buy no name, but now it's like, oh, we can't buy anything with a name because it's so expensive. Yeah, so our lovely little no name packet here. This is salted butter. So there's no salt in this recipe. I sometimes find that little addition of the salt can cut through some of the sweetness. Alright, those have been washed. Fabulous. So I need a bowl.
Okay, here it is.
Can you get me a bowl, please?
Yep.
Okay, folks. So what do I need? So this is a 250 gram packet of cream cheese. Oh, turn that one on. Turn the wrong one on.
There you go.
So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to weigh it. It says 250 grams. Gram conversion.
There's an ounce. There's ounces on that thing as well.
Oh, does it say ounces? I don't see ounces.
No, on the scale.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. That's why I'm coming to the scale. We do have a scale.
Oh God, Chevy says, how about a challenge for next year of making macaroons?
Oh bloody hell. There we go. 8.8 ounces in here.
Oh, well, I have to say, actually, if you want a real challenge, cream puffs.
Oh yeah. Well, we've done cream puffs before.
We have done cream puffs before.
Yes, and we did a, Seahag and I did do a cream puff challenge where we both made cream puffs to see who came out the best.
I hate you.
Anywho, but I did remember those cream puffs I made and it was using Snickers?
Yes. Oh my God, that was awesome.
Yeah, so we
Who
could
won?
do that.
Sheffy wants to know who won.
Who do you think? What's your guess?
And let's just say it wasn't me. Sheffy says, "Oop, you're right. Blue. Yep, it was. It was blue."
Yes. Yours weren't too bad.
Oh, thank you for that. What is it they call it? Was not false praise, but faint praise. Yours wasn't too bad.
Okay.
Ah.
This stuff's so dense, I'm just going to cut it up slightly. Okay, folks. Okay, so I've got my cream cheese in, just slightly over the 8 ounces, but I think we should be good. Got my cranberries bubbling. Again, when I said I'm not too worried about losing any of the liquid, so that's the evaporation as they cook. There's still some in here that haven't popped just yet. The idea is looking for them to pop, and again, the more you kind of cook them, it gets a bit jammy, so the thicker the actual sauce can get. So again, I know some people like jelly, some people like the sauce. That sort of thing of, well, how thick do you like it? It's kind of a personal preference. And again, you can cook it thick and then use that little bit of orange juice, a little bit of port to kind of make it a little bit more runny again. All right, so it also has butter in it, and it says 2 tablespoons. So on here, I have 60 mil, and I know 2 tablespoons is 30 mils. So I'm going to use the packet to actually help me figure out how much butter I'm going to put in here. So here's the quarter, so I'm going to do half of the quarter, and that should give me 2 tablespoons. Again, let's break this up. So it kind of, when I first start mixing, it will glom onto the mixer. But just to try and help that.
Chef says, when I make my rolls, since I don't bake often, I don't use no less or reduced fat cream cheese. Nah, I want all the good bad stuff.
Yes, this is actually full fat cream cheese. We did look at the low fat cream cheese, but one of the things sometimes with the stuff that is low fat, it contains either more sugar, or it, like the one that we were looking at, has a little bit more thickeners in it to make up for the lack of fat. So it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Okay, and so we've got that, and then we add. I'm actually going to beat this first because it's just come out of the fridge.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my icing sugar to go all over the place. And now I get the magic. I don't know what it is. I think these beaters have to go into a particular one in a particular order, or else they fall out. Yeah, so anywho, handy thing to have. Don't use it every day of the week, but it is a handy thing to have. We used to have a stand mixer. So we were very like, ooh, let's get a stand mixer. But found, for things like this, it missed the bit at the bottom. You still had to go in and scrape the bottom up for it to mix it. essence, please. As you can see, it's all clumped up on the actual beeters itself, but as we add a little bit of the other ingredients, that should break up again. Okay, so how much? So it's 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. So it's actually a cup of powdered sugar we're going to use. I didn't have enough powdered sugar. So this powdered sugar, I use the coffee. We have a kind of a bit more of a robust coffee grinder, but I had to be very careful not to burn out the motor because it takes a while for the sugar to get to the right consistency. I sort of worked on the basis, did it have a puff to it? A bit like when you buy commercial icing sugar. Anywho, so that's what I was doing this morning. Great fun. Hopefully I haven't broken the coffee mixer because sea hags will be really, grinder because sea hags will be really annoyed. So now that I added some of the powdered sugar, the beeters have become less clogged up with the butter and the cream cheese. Got my teaspoon here. So this is going to kind of be hard because this is a liquid, even though they do use in vanilla essence. This is artificial because, again, vanilla essence has got so expensive. But again, there's always a little bit of alcohol in it, but it's that liquid hard. Takes a bit of work to mix the liquid in with the fat. So that mixed in nicely. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the powdered sugar. I'm going to hand mix a little bit just to reduce some of that big cloud of sugar that pops up. And I'm going to add the last bit. See, and I got a nice grind on the coffee grinder for my sugar because it's coated the sugar, the container. That was my indicator when I was grinding up the sugar, was like, oh, is it all light, fluffy, and just clings like you find with icing sugar? Another spatula. Scrape down the stuff from the sides. Okay, so Sea Hag.
Yes. So Grim says, just pulled my 20-pound brisket off the smoker after 17 hours. My cooking for Thanksgiving is done.
Woo!
Oh my God.
Woohoo!
Ah, that takes a lot of time and energy.
Okay, so we have this as cream cheese
Yep,
filling.
yep.
So we're going to add, because we did say, we're going to add some crystallized ginger to this, just to add a little bit more of luxury. So if you could get me the crystallized ginger, please.
Yep.
Going to use this rest of this icing sugar for the other cream cheese I need to make. This is looking like it's almost done. I'm just going to give it a few more moments.
Did you add the orange juice?
No, not just yet. I'm just going to give it a few more moments, and then I'll add those and cook it for the last few minutes, as well as the quart. It's looking jammy.
Anything else?
Pardon?
You need me for anything else?
No, not just present one.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's give that a minute, and then I'll add the other stuff so I don't forget. Okay, so crystal ginger is basically like ginger that's been dried and it's in sugar. You can get it being slightly less sugary than this, but this is what I found in a big bag on Amazon. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut it quite fine and drop it into the actual cream cheese frosting stuff. Now, sometimes if you eat ginger, it has that heat to it. This doesn't have that same, profound, wow, that's so hot. But it does give it just a little bit of a bite. And also, too, you find that thing with the pumpkin spices. Ginger is also an important part of that pumpkin spice mix for some mixes you have. So this just gives you that bit. There's kind of autumn, fall flavors. More spice laden, a little bit more stronger flavors than often we gravitate towards in the summertime. Though some of you may still be nice and warm. Actually, we're not too bad here, but it'll be getting cold soon. So this will be making us all feel nice and happy.
Nice and happy.
Yep, and I know the timer's going. Okay, timer's going. Stop. I'm going to throw in the orange juice. And then I've got I got cream cheese on me now. And I'm going to throw in my port. This is about 2/3 of a cup of port. Now it's an alcohol. I'm going to cook it a little bit because I want to cook the alcohol. I don't want it to be too raw. And then it should kind of evaporate. And my sauce was getting a little thick then. So it's just lightened it up a bit. So soon we should be good to go because I kind of like a bit more of a lighter sauce, not too thick. But again, if you like it thick, cook it longer or just add less water. Okie folks. Let's add this ginger in here. Just chopped it up into smaller pieces. Let's give it a mix.
Now that's for the log?
Yeah.
Or is that for the muffin?
No, this is for the log.
Okay, cool.
All right. Okay. Here's a spoon for you. You try that. So that's got a bit of ginger, and I was trying to capture the ginger.
That's nice. Again, not like we tested this out, guys. This actually turned out well.
And then ginger just gives another little twist. Dishwasher spoons.
Jackie says, Blue giving Sea Hag a sample.
Well, I have to feed her. Then, otherwise she doesn't get too bolshy. All right, how are you doing? Oh yeah, looking good. All right, so this is going to go into the fridge. One thing that Sea Hag is really good for is finding space. We make. Oh, go on.
Chuck says, justice for Sea Hag. Feed Sea Hag.
So we make soup and stuff for our lunches. Just makes it easy. It's a grab and go. And we freeze them.
Do you want me to put them in here?
Yeah, so could you cover that
Yeah.
up and then...
Yeah.
So we freeze it. I'm going to taste it again. And, but she's amazing at finding spaces in the freezer to fit them all.
I treat it like a puzzle.
So the perfect person to ask to do this. Okie doke, let's bung this over here. This is just bubbling away. Again, I'm going to give that a taste. Let's see whether that alcohol taste is gone. Orangey. Bit of zing. So again, it has still that bit of zing. Adding more sugar kind of gets rid of some of that zing. So I'm just going to dab it on here and see how thick it is when it cools. Alright, so we have the next cream cheese to do.
Yep.
Dum dum
You
dum.
can do it. You can do it.
We can do the other cream cheese, Toto. Is it Toto? What was the dog's name?
What?
No, I'm just going to talk to myself. Who cares?
Who cares?
No one cares.
No one does.
It's what it's like to be alone in the world, just you and your dog. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Running out of dishes.
Do you want me to do dishes?
I think we're good. I can do some dishes. Just the bowls. Okie doke. So now we're moving on to the other type of cream cheese we need. So we're going to put these in our muffins. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so what do we need for this cream cheese then? A witch. So this is 6 ounces of cream cheese, I do believe. No, wrong one. Okay, 6 ounces of cream cheese, and I need an egg yolk. So let's just...
So what do you want washed?
Just the... Oh. Okay, we're fine, because there's no bowl.
There's bowls over here.
Yeah, so I just have to use a big bowl.
Okay.
What's in the bowl that the muffin things are on the top?
Oh, there's other bowls there too. Here.
Yeah. Okay. This is, drum roll, going to...
Can she do it? Can she do it?
Actually, I did see some way of doing this a bit easier on the internet. I should have gone back to that. This is kind of how we used to do it.
Well done.
La, la, la. Okay, so there's my egg yolk. I'll have to do something with egg white. Alright, just gonna give my hands a bit of a wash. Well, folks, I need 6 ounces of cream cheese for this. Okay, so here we go. Now this actually talks about it being a full brick, 170 grams, so I'm not certain, must be different sizes in different places. So I'm going to not be using all of this amount of cream cheese. Now, you can actually put a bit of cream cheese, when you do a grilled cheese sandwich, you can actually put a bit of cream cheese in there as well as your cheddar or whatever other cheeses you're using.
Adds a little bit of creaminess. Empty bottle soaks up the yolk. Yeah, I've heard that. They're using a water bottle. And you use it and you just squeeze it, and then when you release it, the suction will suck up the yolk up.
Oh,
That's what Sheffy suggested. I've seen that too.
I haven't seen that. I think the one I saw, they did it through their hands.
Yeah, I've seen that one as well. You just kind of pour it through your hands.
Okay, go in there. All right, gonna have to weigh it again. Okay, so this is where I need a bigger kitchen.
Yes, you do.
Need a job that pays more money, perhaps, for a bigger kitchen. Especially with the cost of food. Okie dokie, so if I do that, I'm going to off again. What is it if I chop off this chunk? Okay, I'm just measuring it. Now I have a piece of cream cheese I need to find a home for. Put in there. All right, so 6 ounces of cream cheese. Again, this is not a not a time to be worried about your heart health and your cholesterol levels. Or, you know, if you are worried, you're just perhaps going to have to live vicariously. Okay, I've got my cream cheese in there. I've got my egg yolk in there.
Wunderbar.
I need to add half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm not going to reuse the one that I already had used for my full teaspoon, but I'm just going to do half of it. Okay, in she goes. Now actually this one asks for granulated sugar.
That's interesting.
So 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar.
Wow.
One, 2, 3. I got the 3. Okie pokes. And now just to save on washing up, and as we'd already done this, I'm still going to use the same beaters because it only had cream cheese on from before. Now it does say soften to room temperature cream cheese, and this just came out of the fridge. So this will be fun. one virginal, so no ginger. Can you just cover this one too and put it in the fridge,
Yep.
please? See, Hag, who's good at puzzles. We did get a puzzle though, didn't we, for Christmas?
We did.
Oh, I put everything in this. We got, do you want to tell them after you've done that what our puzzle is?
Yeah, it's.
It's, do I remember what it is?
We are
Okay.
doing.
What you looking for?
The actual puzzle.
It's under the laptop. In our rather organized home here.
Chaos! So, it
Dum, dum, dum.
is from Discworld Emporium in the UK. It's called The Unseen Hex 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. It's 1,000 pieces and it's going to be awesome.
Awesome.
It's just going to be insane. Absolutely insane. Hopefully you saw that.
Awesome. 1,000 pieces.
1,000 pieces. We've done three other. In the past 4 years. We've done three other puzzles from the same line, and it usually takes us about a month and a half.
Yes. We did Death. Was Death the first one we did?
Yeah, Death Study. That was awesome.
Oh my god, it was varying shades of purple.
It was, yeah.
It was tricky. And of course, Sea Hag was like away, and I was like, I don't know how you can tell the difference. It's all purple to me. Okay, so here we are again. I pulled out the ginger. So these muffins are just muffins. They're just pumpkin muffins. But of course, why stick with them just as they are and not adding a few different things? Okay, so I've got my ginger. However, I did discover that I had some of these cherries. So I've got these dried cherries. Which, they're not cranberries. We don't have any cranberries. This is often why I end up sort of adjusting things, because you're like, darn, we don't have any cranberries. So it's kind of a little lighter than a raisin and things. Not quite as sweet as a date.
No, there's a little bit of tartness to it.
Yeah, so we're going to throw in some of these cherries into our mix. And we're going to try a little bit of walnut for a bit of nut and a crunch into the muffins. Sometimes I find that, you can get these muffins and the textures, they're kind of okay, but if you could eat the whole muffin, there's not enough substance to it. They're a bit too soft, a bit too airy. However, I'm also someone I don't see the appeal of angel food cake because it's a little bit kind of airy. Doesn't have any chewy stuff to it. So I'm just going to slice these up a little bit, make them smaller. I'm not going to overboard it. I don't necessarily need to have lots and lots in this mix. Just a little bit, just to give it just that little bit of a nice hint when you're taking a bite that there's something else in there than just the pumpkin. I like bran muffins, but one of my complaints about bran muffins when you buy them is that A, they have raisins in, which you're like, okay, I can eat raisins, but they have so many in that all I'm doing is tasting raisins. So again, don't want to get this so it's so chock-a-block full of this fruit that I'm missing, though, that overall it is a pumpkin muffin I'm having. It's not dried fruit wrapped in muffin kind of thing. Does that make sense, Sea Hag?
It does. Perfect sense.
Okay, Sea Hag's a little sarcastic.
Sorry, what?
You're a little sarcastic.
Me? Just a little?
A little mean.
I failed. I wanted to be a lot sarcastic.
Oh my golly gosh. I'm going to get my revenge, you know, when you're doing your little horror thing.
I know.
I'm going to be really, really mean to you. Yeah. So what are you looking forward to about Thanksgiving, Seahag?
Oh, the day off, the food, the walking the dog.
The day
How
off?
about guys on chat? What are you guys looking forward to? We know Graham's looking forward to the meat.
Mega meat.
20 pounds. I have to go back up, but I think he said 20 pounds of brisket. 20 pounds of brisket off the smoker. Oh, oh, real blacksmith. Oh, today, this is a blacksmith. Where's the video game? Today is a cooking stream. We are doing pumpkin roll, pumpkin muffins, and homemade cranberry sauce.
This is where blue demands attention.
Blue demands attention.
Yes. So now Seahag is my support, as opposed to me coming in and feeding Seahag.
How you doing, Real Blacksmith? How's life treating you? What do you like about
Thanksgiving? The day
You're
off.
live, Real Blacksmith. Well, what do you like? We're talking right now about what we like about Thanksgiving. What do you like about Thanksgiving?
I like the food.
I have to say, fall or autumn is actually my most favorite of seasons. So to me, Thanksgiving kind of encapsulates all that kind of, I like that it's in November. Oh, there you go, Blacksmith. We're Canadian, eh? Yeah. I like it because it's that.
Because we're in Canada, had a harvest in November.
We're in Canada. We're in Canada, can we harvest in November? That's why we harvest in October. Okay, so in your November American, my wife is Canadian. I know all about it.
You get two then.
You get two. That's special. What's you doing? You chopping up walnuts?
I'm now in the walnuts. However, my first Thanksgiving,
I just like to make jokes.
because of course, regardless of what people think, we don't have Thanksgiving in the UK. But I remember my first Thanksgiving, and I'm like, whoa, look at this. So, I think they have this in the States too. Ambrosia.
Oh.
But I remember walking in, and these folks, lovely folks, from Saskatchewan, and and so there they were, and they're like, well, we've got salad, so you can have salad with your dinner. And I'm like, salad seems really weird with a roast dinner. Again, didn't grow up with it, and I'm thinking lettuce, tomatoes, cucumber. And so the salad consisted of bright green Jell-O with fruit in it. And I'm like, okay, in Saskatchewan it must be cold if that passes as salad. So that was it. And then the other thing was ambrosia, which was basically, I think it was Cool Whip with marshmallows and some dried fruit, which was the weirdest thing I'd ever heard of. You can imagine, I'm like, what happened just to the stuffing and the cranberry sauce?
Well, it's also a bit like a throwback to the 70s.
Yeah, it was just like wild. And I was so disappointed because when you walked into their home, and to say, these people were lovely, they're very generous. I'm not, it's not them, it's just the differences in food. But they had a burner, and it had this strong smell of cinnamon and cloves. And I was like, oh, you made mince pies. And they're like, no. So disappointed.
Real Blacksmith said they always had ambrosia with fresh fruit.
Oh, they were fancy. You had it with fresh fruit. Don't you find the marshmallows slimy?
Did you find the marshmallows slimy real Bob Smith in the ambrosia?
Yeah, that's what I found. They're a bit slimy.
Maybe it's just the way they make it. Again, very generous to have you over. But we've all been to that one dinner party where we were like, how am I going to get through this?
But the next year, I went to a different one.
Yeah,
And it was more of a, people brought different dishes and things.
yeah.
And I discovered the differences in taste because we had sweet potatoes. So someone brought sweet potatoes,
Yeah,
except on the top they'd put marshmallows and brown sugar.
Oh, God.
And again, I'm like, this is dessert. You want me to put dessert on my roast dinner? It was like weird. And what is
We're
that?
in the middle of a break, just to tell you, ad break.
What are the name of those chocolate wafers?
Chocolate.
Very thin chocolate wafers.
You mean that, not mandolins, but
No, they're mass produced.
is it a dessert?
It is.
Cookies or desserts?
No, they're like cookies. Do you want more sugar in that?
Yeah, just a bit more sugar.
Okay.
It just says chocolate wafer cookies.
I think that maybe that's what they are. They're thin. Yes.
Yeah, it's just wafer cookies. Ads.
Oof.
All right, ad breaks in 2, 1, and we're back. We're back.
We're back.
We're back. So we decided that we need the cranberry sauce needs a little bit more sugar.
So I actually added about 2 tablespoons of sugar.
Yeah, 2 tablespoons sugar. Just because I think you can still taste the port a bit in it.
Excuse fingers. No, I'm not tasting the port.
No? Okay.
I'm not getting that alcohol taste.
Okay.
I've left it on a bit. But anyway, here, can you see the cranberry sauce? I have a few little dribbles I've done. But it's kind of, I've cooked it to this kind of thicker consistency. As it cools, it'll probably thicken up a little bit more. But as you can see, it's on my finger. It doesn't really drop immediately. It slowly drops. Okay.
And that's the consistency you want.
Yes, but other people may want it thicker.
True.
But I think that...
Take the pot and just put it under.
Yeah, let me just wash my hands as I was licking my fingers.
Yeah.
Alright. Here's the pot. So these have all broken down. A lot of, can you see it?
Yeah.
So a lot of the cranberries are broken down. And also, you know, cooking it just that bit where you don't get the skins being super chewy. Now, you have an option too, whereas if you're kind of like, you want it more like that clear jelly type of cranberry you can actually put that through a sieve and it will get rid of all the skins. So you'll be left with more of a kind of smoother cranberry sauce without that skin piece, if that's, you know, you don't like chewing on the skins. So that's a way of just, you know, also making it a little bit more to your own taste. Also too, you have the option as well, getting a hand whizzer and whizzing it up, and that also breaks up some of those skins. So some choices there. Other folks, you know, we kind of like that slightly more whole cranberry because it gives a bit more chew to it. So yeah. Wunderbar. All right, we've got cream cheeses.
Yeah, I've got the cream cheeses.
How's the jelly roll?
Do you want to do the jelly roll now?
I'm just curious about, is
It
it,
says to 21 degrees.
I don't know.
I think it's cooled off. Yeah, I think it's fine to.
Shall we give it a go?
Yeah, let's give it a go. See
Because
how it goes.
then we'll do the muffins. The muffins take,
The muffin man, the muffin
we're
man.
going to do, the muffins take,
Should only take about what? 10 minutes, 12 minutes.
yeah, cool.
How to eat cranberry sauce. Scrape it from the bin. Scrape it into the bin. Oi! Little box Smith! Cranberry sauce can be nice, especially when you make it homemade. I find the tin ones can be a bit of everything.
Okay, are we ready for this?
Yeah,
Here's our cream cheese.
let's hope it works. This is the test. This is the test.
Our cream cheese. I know this is the test. This is where I go, oh my God! It's a lie. It doesn't work. Okay,
It failed.
here's our cream cheese.
Now, is that with the crystallized ginger?
It is.
Ooh, that sounds nice. You prefer huckleberries or blueberries? Oh.
Never thought about
I
blueberries.
never thought about blueberries. That actually might be kind of nice.
Are huckleberries easy to get where you're from?
I don't know. This real locksmith is in the States. Is it easy to get huckleberries?
Because we have the whole thing with Saskatoon berries. I don't think.
I'm not really into. Not here in Arizona. No. Oh, okay. So where does huckleberries grow? Or you can find them. I know here you don't tend to have blueberries in Alberta, but you do get the Saskatoon berry, which I really don't like.
No.
But in Washington or Idaho, yeah, it's not hard. Oh, okay.
Maybe as well, do they grow out east?
Yeah, I think so. Washington, Idaho. They grow in the mountains at altitude. Ooh,
All right.
okay. There you go, Sheppy, the pumpkin log. It is the test. Did we screw it up?
Did we?
Or will it? Or will Blue save the day?
Not certain about that. Okay, question
All right.
is. Dum dum dum.
Dum, dum.
All right, so we can see the bits of. I don't know. Use a bit more cream cheese with this sometimes, maybe.
That's okay.
In this house, though, if you don't like something, the dog will eat it.
Oh, you're not going to feed that to the dog?
No. I'm just meaning with regards to the putting the cranberries in there.
Oh, yeah.
There's not much the dog won't eat.
True enough, but it's not good for her.
No.
You take her out in the middle of the night.
All right, here we go. Dum dum. Can you see me?
Huckleberry jam on Amazon. Oh, no, isn't that getaway?
Oh, we got to do it the other way.
How do you roll it? I just thought you rolled it that way. But whole huckleberries, that's pretty tough.
I tried to grow them once in England.
Huckleberries?
Yeah,
You tried to grow them?
I did. Had a little bush. Needless to say, it wasn't terrible. Oh, I've had my first break.
Oh, you had your first
Okay,
one?
come here, Sea Hag. It's going to be
Alright,
better. If we're doing it the long way, it's ending up just folding, and I can't. Okay.
Oh, it broke. That's okay. All right.
Woohoo! There we go. So maybe the tinfoil method wasn't as fail-safe as they said. It's definitely
Yes.
definitely moist.
Whippy knows there's food, and when there's poop in there, she's like, I'm missing out. I'm missing out. Oh, okay. Are we gonna let that rest, or are you gonna slice into it?
Just want to see.
How bad is it?
Can you pass me a little plate?
Okay.
I think I would have done it the other way. Would have been big and juicy the other way.
Okay.
Needs the cream cheese is a little soft.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I'm actually just going to cut it in two, and if we wrap it up and put it in the fridge,
Okay.
we'll bring out the pretty half.
You're gonna have to show it though to everybody. Let's take a look. Oh, no. No, that just did not work.
It did it? There we go. I'm going to blame Chefy.
No. I think the agreement was you were going to blame me.
Oh, was I? Okay.
In plastic wrap?
Yeah, just something to... Maybe it tastes amazing. I think it's our attempt.
Best eaten cold. Blames the egg. She looked at it. She looked at it. How is it?
You want to try?
Yeah, sure.
It actually doesn't taste bad. It's just our execution.
It's nice. I mean, the taste is nice. But pumpkin's not overwhelming or anything like that.
No.
It's just the actual,
I would probably... Yes, and it must be hot in here because we have the oven going, because
Yeah.
the cream cheese melted quite quickly.
Yeah. Maybe it was still too warm.
It was cold in its thing.
Yeah.
I would eat that, actually. I'd eat that because it's not too sweet.
Yeah, it is.
So I would try that again to improve my technique. Well, thank you, Chefy.
That was nice, though.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
It does have good flavors, though.
The pupper would like some cake. Pupper ain't gonna get any cake. I'm sure she would love some cake.
Yes.
She eats anything. She is one of those that is just, she just eats anything.
Also, too, we go through Tim Hortons, and they will give Timbits to your dog. But poor Whitby misses out.
Because we're like, no.
No. So she's allowed, we give her things to eat, but don't give her sweets and things. She likes watermelon. And blueberries and frozen cherries and things. Do you know, it's kind of interesting. I don't know other people with pets and things, but I find I'm more observant and careful with my dog's health, and I don't feed her things that are bad for her, but I seem to be fair game.
You don't apply the same stringent demands on yourself.
I do not. Okay, I'm gonna make a crumb topping for this pumpkin muffins. Okay, so I need a bowl. I'm gonna use a flat bowl, just so that I can do it with a fork. Oh, I don't have any left.
I'll do some dishes.
I'll wash this. Okay, just gonna do, because this is a crumb mixture, so I don't need it to be super fine or anything. Oh yeah. So I'll use this dish. These are dishes we got when we were in the UK. We went for the shabby chic. Sadly, the dishwasher does take off the pattern, but it gets a bit tiresome to do it by hand. Okay, so 1/3 of a cup of butter. So I still have 30 and 60 if I do that. I do believe 1/3 of a cup is 80, so this is going to be a bit of a guess. Bit of a guess for
You want me to
this.
do the features?
No, I can use the beaters again, don't you think?
Not yes, but they should be washed
Okay.
because you're going to be doing it on a.
Okay, so I've got my wrong bit of butter. Measured that wrong. I actually only need 1/4 of a cup. So I'm going to take off that sliver that I had to make it 1/3. It's 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Need to get my 1/3 of a cup. Okay, I found 1/3 of a cup. So I'm going to 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Going to put that in. And then how much? I'm going to add some spice. So there's 1 teaspoon of pumpkin spice I'm going to add to it. And then I'm going to put some flour in it. So I just have to go elsewhere for my flour. So that's 1 teaspoon of my pumpkin spice mix. And I'm going to go get my flour. And I'm probably going to need a different bowl. So I'm going to put it in a different bowl, and now you can see that's everything in there. A bit like a crumble. What I found with making this last time for a cake, I have a blueberry recipe that uses a crumb on the top, is I don't use it all. You know, there's more crumb than I need for my muffins, so I freeze it. And then when I do it again, I don't have to make the crumb again. It's just in the freezer, and I just pull it out. This is the type of crumble, you know, the crumb you make for a crumble. Oh, lost my butter. Okay, so I'm just mixing it in with my hands roughly. Just getting it all in mixed in, getting that butter mixed in. Sort of looking for breadcrumb kind of texture, what it looks like.
You can see Whitney in the background hoovering. She's our natural hoover. She'll hoover everything off the floor.
You have to watch her though. We made oven chips a week or 2 ago, and one fell on the floor, and she kind of ate it, and it just came out of the oven. It was so hot. Tried to stop her, and she did it. I do think she burnt her tongue a little bit. She did regurgitate it back up, and she hadn't even chewed it. Just went straight down.
That's the food hoarding. She's a bit of a resource guarder, so she just.
So there's my crumb.
Anything that's hers. Anything and everything that's hers.
So here's my crumb already done. Okay, so that's ready to go on top of the muffins. So now I'm actually going to make the muffins. Yeah, I'm going to just wash my hands because I've got all that crumb mixture on there. Well, I think for lunch we're going to have to just eat pumpkin log. Yeah. Okay, so what do we need for our muffins?
Gotta love the muffin man.
Woohoo! Okay, this one actually uses vegetable oil, or you can use coconut oil. Okay, so let's get her going. So I'm going to mix the eggs with the sugar. So we're getting another.
There's a glass bowl that's washed.
Okay, yes. Use the glass bowl. Oh, what's that?
La 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 la. That's okay.
Kadoink.
The recipe was done. We need more experience doing.
I'd use a slightly smaller pan, I think.
Yeah, but
maybe.
but
Smooth
also
it out level.
It didn't rise itself very much.
Maybe again we should have put a little bit more baking powder in.
Maybe.
Perhaps should have followed the advice that I read that it was 1 tablespoon.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
I know it's okay. Just saying. Just problem solver. Okay,
But-
2 eggs.
But it is a nice looking, it's actually a very nice looking recipe.
Tastes nice.
And it tastes nice. That pumpkin is nice. It's subtle.
Not too sweet.
No, actually, that was good. It wasn't too sweet.
Yes. So I would say, come this time next year, we might retry because we
will
already
retry,
tried.
yes.
You'll have to take a picture of the next time you do one, Chefy.
Oh, Chef has sent it to me. I'll take a look at it and see if I
I
can
haven't
find
seen it.
it. Okay.
You didn't share with me, did you? No.
I think
No.
Chef, you should, next time, if you make any this time around, take a picture and send it to me put it on the Discord chat, the share your love for food.
Yes. And we could kind of do a bit of the nailed it.
That's right.
How it should look and
Chef,
how ours looked.
it's what Chefy looks the what it should look like and what ours did. Nailed it.
Okay, so we're gonna whisk. Oh, I used white sugar. I actually had brown sugar. God, I'm on a roll here of not paying attention. Okie dokes. So we have our liquidy things. So how much are we going? So we're gonna do all the liquidy
Your
things.
Bob Smith says, when I was a kid, we used to spend whole days driving up the mountains and picking wild huckleberries from the sides of logging roads, gallons and gallons. Oh, we did the same with regards to blueberries.
Yeah, you grew up with that, didn't you?
Yeah, that kind of, you just went out, your parents would give you the bucket and send you off into the field and say, okay.
And how many did you eat
And don't eat it all.
before you fell ill?
Oh, I remember those. And then my grandma would can them, make jam preserves for the whole year. Yeah. You know, and it'd always be sad when it came to the last one. Because it usually would last like until the next harvest. And you'd open up and you say, okay, it's the last jar of jam. Oh, that's so cool.
Sounds fun. I grew up in the city, so.
Well, you guys used to do, you used to get blackberries from didn't you used to?
Yes, well, blackberries would just grow the side by the bus stops, even. But
Yeah.
yes, we did go off when we went on our adventures and pick blackberries.
Oh, we got a raid. Oh no, we got a subscription.
Oh, did we?
RPG Alliance, thank you.
Woohoo!
Oh my God, thank you. Hey, I made it. What are Blue and Sea Hag making today? Well,
You can explain that.
Victor says, hi everybody, happy Thanksgiving. So, we tried the pumpkin log and realized we're not that good at doing a jelly rolls. So it didn't quite turn out as well as it could have. However,
We did no justice to
We did
it.
not do it justice, but it tastes good. And right now we're doing pumpkin muffins. And then we just finished off a homemade cranberry sauce. Very nice. So basically using the packet recipe, but adding orange zest and orange juice and a little bit of pork. So, yeah,
Oh.
that's it.
Now I'm just adding all the ingredients. I've got a cup full of pumpkin here. And again, I do try to reduce the cleaning. So this is my icing sugar measurer from previously. So it's fine for measuring my pumpkin. Are you reading something there, or are you just ignoring me?
No, I'm listening to you.
This is our kind of standard conversation at times. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Okay.
She's just saying hi to Victor.
All right. So I'm getting all my liquidy things together here. Now, one thing I did want to add to this, because again, I was reading about this, how to caramelize sugar.
Sister says she loves your cooking.
Yeah. And we'll probably do that in December when we look at the magic of fruitcake, where everyone goes, oh no. But this is burnt sugar. Sort of, my kind of Caribbean style, and it's put in cakes. Use it in the Caribbean too, to put into like fruit cakes and things. But I'm just going to add a little bit here.
Hello, how are you?
Because it has that strong caramelly taste, and just to add, some of those back notes, so when you're actually eating these things, a bit of a back note of caramel. So it's a sugar, so you kind of heat it up. And I did learn recently that actually sugar, when you heat it up, doesn't melt. It actually is the molecules separating. So the water is separating out from the sucrose and things. You learn something new every day. So I have 2 teaspoons in there. That is what I've thing. You can buy this in more Caribbean shops and things. You can get it online. I think you can get this stuff on Amazon. I made this myself, which again we'll look at when it comes to December, some of these things to add in.
So Sheffy's going. Thank you, Sheffy, for dropping by. Thank you for, I want to acknowledge Sheffy for sending us the recipe for the pumpkin log.
Thank you very much.
Sheffy, when you make it for your American Thanksgiving,
show us what it should look like.
Make sure you put a picture of it in the Discord channel, because we want to show it how it's done versus how we did it.
Yes. Yes. Okay. And I'm just going to add my bit of salt in here. And that's half a teaspoon of salt in this. So this is the dry liquids. This is where I get a bit lazy and I mix up the dry liquids and then I just add the... I mix up the wet liquids and then I just add the dry. So I'm just going to go and add my 1 3/4 cups of flour. I need to go get my measure for that. Just use this. Okay, I shall be back in a second. You keep working there, Sina. This is my lazy way of doing stuff. Alright, and then it says 1 teaspoon of baking powder and baking soda. So I'm going to correct on what I did last time. So this is half a teaspoon. Sorry, half a tablespoon. So I'm going to put half of tablespoon plus half a teaspoon of baking powder. And then I'm going to put a smaller measure. We'll try just scant half a teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, it asks for 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and then 1 teaspoon of pumpkin spice. But again, I'm going to use old pumpkin spice because I do like that strong flavor.
So what's your pumpkin spice?
So my pumpkin spice is cinnamon, cloves, anise, and I think that's it. There's the other one. What are the little balls called? Do we know what the little balls are called? For the reason.
You mean cloves?
No.
Not allspice.
Allspice.
That's it.
There you go. Little balls. I kept thinking aniseed and like
That's
aniseed
not
balls. I'm like, no, that's not right. Okay, I've got all my dry ingredients. I've just thrown in there now.
Okay, we've got a short ad break, but that's okay. Do you want more pumpkin? Muffin? You want the bigger muffins?
We can do the bigger ones. I mean, what would you like though? I mean, because we're the ones eating them. Take less time to fill.
Well, we've got small. Here's the small one. I'll get the bigger one.
Oh, yeah, you're going to need more than that.
Yeah.
I was thinking you could.
Here. Didn't know how much you were going to make, so.
No. Well, this is usually the size of what we kind of make, but.
Yeah. You want the bigger ones then?
Yeah, let's do the big ones.
Okay. Here's your bigger. You can have those later in case it's you have extra. Okay.
All right. Is it still an advert?
No, they haven't over it.
Oop, dropped it. Okay. So I just mixed up all the ingredients, the dry into the wet, and then I added the dried fruit and the walnuts that I'd chopped earlier. Okay, now we're going to go into here. Do you know what happened to that ice cream scooper we had?
Hang on.
We do have an ice cream scooper, so I'm just thinking if we have it to hand.
Where did it go?
I used to know where it was. Okay, it's going to be the old-fashioned way, is it?
Where did we put it? Oh, wait now. Maybe over here, maybe? Hang on.
It's where you have things that you don't use regularly and you're like, okay, what did I do with that? Where did
it go?
Where did it go, indeed?
I don't think we have it. It might be packed away.
Okay, it's probably packed up somewhere. Okie doke. let's fill up these cases then. So these are just regular muffin size.
Yeah, it's packed up somewhere.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
The dog's become director again.
Yes.
Keep stealing that spot that Sea Hag wants to sit on. The dog has a big sense of importance.
Whippy, come here.
And there's no barking at people outside.
We decided she's going to be a guard dog.
Yes. 23-pound guard dog. This is an old pan, as you can see.
Alright, I gotta go.
Years of use. Again, that's the beauty of baking stuff, though, you know. It may look a bit like, ooh, but you don't have to buy new stuff to make it look beautiful. It's more functional. What you're more interested in is how the pan cooks your actual muffins as opposed to how beautiful it looks. And this is not a non-stick, this is a non-stick pan, so I'm not worried about, oh, sugar plum fairies. Alright, I am on a roll.
I have to say, Bria Blocksmith says, favorite part of Thanksgiving is the stuffing. I don't know why, but I love bread stuffing cooked inside the bird. It's so good. And as a vegetarian, we make stuffing as well.
Yeah.
And I love the breads. I do an old-fashioned bread with potato to bind it, and then instead of stuffing it up the bird like we used to when we were growing up, we just put it in just put it in a tin foil and bake it with the tofurkey. But yes, I love stuffing too. Oh wow. That was a beautiful photo. That was just gorgeous. That was just a beautiful sunset.
So of course I forgot there's cream cheese because this is a new addition for me.
Oh, you forgot to put the cream. Oh, so you're going to take some out and then put the cream cheese?
Yes, because I have to.
Doing a cream cheese stuffing with the muffins.
Yeah, which is kind of new for me because I've never done this before. I've done it where you actually cut into your muffin after it's cooked and you put it in. But this actually bakes with it, so I'm just going back because I have to put some mixture on the top.
Yeah.
So I'm just going back and taking out excess mixture where I was filling them like that was it. Like there was no tomorrow. Yeah.
Come on up. There, good girl. Sit.
Yeah.
Sit.
So again, it's all part of the fun, you know. No perfectionism. We are not perfectionists.
So
No.
we've never done this before. Again, another thing we've never done is put cream cheese.
And they tell you not to do this stuff, do they?
Huh?
It's like when people go on MasterChef and they're going, it's the first time I've done this recipe. And you're like, that's what we're doing here, isn't it? The first time we've ever done this.
Alright, so do you want me to get the...
I got the cream cheese.
You got the cream cheese? Okay.
Whoa, and then just throw my spoon into it.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
Okay. Here we go. Add cream cheese. I need another spoon, probably. So let's flip her around a little bit. Okay. So it says about... Oh my God! I'm going to decide now that, you know, I'm going to go somewhere else.
You do that so well.
Yeah, this one.
So well.
These are the ones though that we usually do and go, okay, that's the tester.
That's the tester.
That's the one we're testing. Joy of joys. So here we are at Witch's Pantry. How not to cook.
Yeah. Yes, it's turning into a stream of what not to do.
Yeah, which can, I hope, is helpful for everybody.
How true, how true.
Yeah. I think they should do a horror game of us doing this.
Of you cooking?
Oh, could you imagine that though? A horror of, cooking, the disasters.
The disasters into a cooking?
Yeah. All the thing. Oh, bugger. Bugger. Drum the thing there too. Spoon's gone in again.
Come on, you can do it.
I can do it. I can do it. Oh my god, I've got now cream cheese all over me. I'm not expecting any Netflix or anyone to call me.
You know, you might want to just, next time you do this, again, next time, we might want to put it into like a
Bag?
pastry bag.
Yeah. Or actually, I would semi-freeze it, make it a little bit firmer.
Ah,
Because, again, it's a bit warm in here, so
yeah.
a little firmer as it goes, so it doesn't be so runny. I think it's okay, though, because it has that egg yolk in it.
Yeah.
It should be less, it should still firm up a little bit as it
It'll cook
cooks. Yeah. Here we go. We're going to have a quiet Thanksgiving, though, this year.
Yes, we are.
After all this cooking today, we'll probably be just eating sausage and chips. With cranberry sauce and muffins. Alright. Let's make sure we chunk of this. This is going to be really kind of interesting.
Da, 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 da. So this will be interesting, yes, because you can remember you. Oh, okay. I was going to say we do have the smaller ones as well, but.
No, these are going to be jumbo ones, okay? Well, there's a little bit left of the smaller ones, but...
Okay. This is great. Look at you cooking up a storm. I'm going to have to clean. It's going to take me an hour after the stream for cleaning up, you know that.
Super clean!
The
Okay.
rule in our house is if you cook, the other person, whether it's cooking or baking, the other person has to clean.
Do the cleanup.
Share the workload.
Okay, so this is going to be fun time.
All right, let's see. I'm just curious to see how this turns out.
Should have just made scones.
You should have just made scones.
Pumpkin scones.
Pumpkin scones. Yes, we should have. Should have just made pumpkin scones.
We do make scones, so we're less newbies. These are going to be jumbo-sized muffins, though.
Yeah.
Oh, these are going to be interesting.
A little bit too much.
Cream cheese.
Cream cheese.
Yay! I just wanted to use it up there. I think also it's not helping because I think it is meant to be firmer.
Right.
You know, maybe that's where perhaps instead of using regular sugar, powdered sugar would be better because it would have firmed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? Sometimes it's doing the stuff where you're like, okay, that you get those, wow, that was amazing, much better than what it was meant to look like.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
But that is part and parcel of learning, right?
Yes. It's the whole experience.
It's the learning channel.
It is, making that.
Gonna have to take pictures.
Yeah.
And how long did these bake for?
I don't know. I'm imagining really the size of them now. They're going to get closer to like 20 minutes, I think. We normally do little muffins. We find it's a way of...
Yeah, this might take a little longer to cook. Oh, sorry, how many minutes are they supposed to go in?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
Oh.
But like I said, we normally do little muffins. So little muffins don't take as long to cook. Or as to fill. Ooh, there we go. You can do it. We can do it. Can do spirit for the Thanksgiving.
All right.
And we haven't even got into the alcohol to...
And then you're going to add the crumble on top. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yes, indeed.
Oh, that's going to look good.
We will see. Maybe we'll get some good muffin tops on these.
Yeah.
Just scrape it up. Ooh. Spread it around. There we go.
All right.
Okay, now we're on the crumble top now. Home run. Home stretch. Is that what it is? Do you know I learned something though today as a complete aside?
What did you learn?
I didn't know that Paul Pogba had gone to Juventus.
Oh. We're going to talk about cooking now.
Yeah, I saw that because he failed a drug thing, and I'm like, I didn't know he was at Juventus.
Yeah, he was not happy at Man U. He did not do very well at Man United.
No, he had a good first season. That seemed to be about it. Okay, I'm going to put the crumble on.
Crumble!
Okay, I'm going to get you just to look at exactly the times.
Okay. So is the oven at 425?
Yeah. Oops, I got on a bit of a lump.
Bake for 5 minutes at 425. Then keeping the muffins in the oven, reduce heat to 350 and continue baking for another 15 to 17 minutes.
Okay.
The total time they should be in the oven is 20 to 22 minutes.
Right. So I wasn't far off with about 20 minutes.
Pardon?
I was not far off with 20 minutes. And then what I'm going to say is maybe if we pull out the jelly roll and see what it looks like now it's been in the fridge.
Okay. And slice it up and take a picture and
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Okay. Let's see how these babies are going to turn out. They're going to be amazing.
Yes.
Okay, 5 minutes for the first.
Yeah, 5 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, so 5 minutes.
Yeah.
There we go. We got 5 minutes.
Right.
Chaos reigns. I'll just wash this knife. Chaos.
Ah, chaos is right. All right.
That was the last thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't really roll very well. I think that's an understatement. And they didn't rise very well. Anyway, I'll let you do it.
Okay. Oh, can you pass me maybe a plate?
Yeah.
Did it firm up a bit though?
There you go.
Okay. There we go. So
Ta-da!
our rolling wasn't very good. I don't
No.
think the rise. I think the problem was I would perhaps use a little bit more cake mixture
Yeah.
so that we could have leveled it out to all be a similar thickness.
Yeah.
and realizing you spend another moment or two leveling it out.
Surprisingly, it did rise a bit.
Yeah, I don't think it was the rising. I just think because, again, remembering it doesn't contain fat,
Yeah.
so because it doesn't contain fat, I think we needed a bit more cake mixture, so we could have leveled it off more even, and then had more of the cake be this almost 1 inch thickness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say anyone doing the recipe, I would double the recipe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, to ensure that you get a nice thickness here. I think the rolling wasn't too bad. I'm just curious about it rolling, or use a smaller pan. I'm just
Yes.
curious about it going on that lengthways, but who knows?
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's a big slice. It tastes good.
Actually, it tastes nice. It's not as overly sweet as I was concerned about.
Because the cream cheese is nice.
Yep.
Because another cream cheese can help balance off the sugar. But still, sometimes you get cream cheese and it's
I think
very sweet.
we didn't. I think it needs a little bit more of the ginger. Ginger's not coming through as much. I don't get chunky ginger.
Right. So maybe larger chunks and more of it.
Yeah, I would do larger chunks.
Yep.
So we added. It is quite good, Victor. We chopped up some crystalline ginger and added it to the cream cheese. And it actually is nice, but it was too fine, I think.
Yeah, and a bit more of it.
Yeah. We should,
I've eaten it
while
also.
we're here, also, I'm going to take a picture of this. We're going to put it into a small bowl. Where's my bowl? I need to look for a bowl. Here it is.
Yeah, so it's going thick now. Now that we've left it a little bit to cool off,
Yeah.
it's thickening up. So it's going to be a reasonably nice consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to put it in two jars?
Yeah, but for a photo, I'm just going to pop it in this, and then we'll put it into a jar.
Okay.
If you want to pop that, just put it in a little bit.
Okay, I'm just
Or
reducing
halfway.
the temperature on my oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a nice thickness to it now.
Oh, you should, hang on. Pour it out. You want to pour it out just to show
Oh,
the stream? Oh, the other way? The other way, you can't see it.
okay. You can kind of see that it's thicker. It's thickened up as it's cooled up, so it has a kind of nice texture, a nice thickness to it. So when you're doing your cranberry onto your turkey or whatever, again, it's kind of holding on the spoon, but it's not to the point where it's like jelly and it's not coming off.
Sounds good. I'm just going to put the spoon there. Take a picture, put on stream. It's always hard to figure out what's a good angle on that. Okay, cool.
Cool. Yeah. Wunderbar. So I just reduced the temperature on the
So
stove.
it's another 15
Yeah.
minutes, 17 minutes.
Yeah.
break. We'll be back in a second.
No. Who says you're going to break? So again, what we'll do, that's my drink. We'll put this into 2 mason jars so that we can have some on Monday and then some that we've saved and we'll freeze for Christmas. Yeah. Kind of freeze it because I haven't geared it up. I haven't put as much sugar in maybe as I would for a jam. So it's good that way. I've never actually seen how long it would keep in the fridge, but I do know when we've cooked it and had it for Thanksgiving, it's kind of been still okay after about 2 weeks. So, not necessarily perhaps something that you can keep for months and months and months in the fridge, but that's why we have freezers. Freezers then are quite useful for that. Yeah. What do you think, Whitby? Whitby's now got her own chair. Yeah. Actually, and I want to go back to that pumpkin because I don't feel that cloying taste in my mouth that I've had before with the pumpkin log, that I've had before with some of those recipes, especially with the cream cheese. So it was a little bit looser because it's warm in here, so just be careful if you do use it. It's going to melt on you, but that's probably again because it's not packed full of all the powdered sugar. So just enough for sweetness, but not enough to make it cloying. And yeah, add a little bit more crystalline ginger was our end result after tasting the cream cheese.
Yeah. I think just take a moment here to talk about our next food stream. I'm hoping people are enjoying it. Our next, we're going to do it once a month, first Saturday of the month. So our next one is going to be November 4th. And in honor of November 5th, Guy Fawkes Day, we're going to try to do some...
We're doing poutine.
We're doing poutine. So with that, we're going to also do our vegetarian gravy.
Yep.
Our vegetarian mushroom gravy. And then what else we're going to do?
And then we're going to do an apple caramel bread pudding.
Oh yeah, an apple caramel bread pudding.
And we're going to make custard with it.
And make homemade custard with that.
Yes.
So that's going to be our, like I say, November 4th. And then in December, we are doing a special Christmas one. And it will be on December 2nd. And we are going to do fruitcake.
Yes. The much maligned fruitcake in North America. But we're going to do fruitcake, and how in fact fruitcake can be done, can taste nicer than the kind of dried up stuff that there is in the stores at Christmas time. Yeah, so that is our plan. And what we'll probably do is do 2 different types of fruitcake.
Yeah.
And yeah, just some little pieces that you can do if you make fruitcake.
Oh, marzipan.
Well, that's what I was just thinking too. There's the marzipan piece. So it might be 3 fruitcakes, but there'll be small fruitcakes that we make. And one of them, the one that we do different with the marzipan, it will be the same mix, but we'll just put them in different pans and have one with marzipan and one without marzipan.
Yep.
So marzipan is the almond paste.
So I think that we might add something else, but I think those are going to be the 3 big ones. The main. That's gonna consume a lot because we're gonna talk about how to mix your fruit, what to add to it, and then how to make the batter. Fruitcake itself takes quite a long time to cook, to bake because it's so.
Well, you bake it at a low temperature.
You bake it at a low temperature.
Yeah, so it gets baked on like half the temperature of what you would make a regular cake. So yes, well, we will see about maybe making one in advance so you can actually see what one of them looks like.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll do.
That we're making, and yeah, so that would work, and then you can just see the differences between fruitcakes because you can have light fruitcake and dark fruitcake, as well as you're not.
And we're also going to do, as part of that, we'll also show how to do the burnt sugar and caramelized sugar.
Yes.
So we'll talk about some of the tips and tricks to make those kinds of additions that just brings the flavor up a couple of notches on these types of cakes and stuff.
Yes. Just gives it that little extra oomph. And also to talk about how you can like make your fruit cake if you're using other dried fruits to raisins, sultanas, and dates kind of thing. Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, so that's going to be our next, that's definitely going to be for the next 2 months. Like I say, I've started up my Discord server. I've added some channels. Please visit and share your love of food on the Share Your Love of Food. There's the Whitby channel where you can share your love of the furry beings who
In your
are
life.
in your life. Share pictures, share stories. I'm going to add some more stuff. So our next stream, or my next stream. Yes, you come here.
Ignoring you. Oh, sugar. I didn't set the timer.
This is the dog. She just likes it so much. So my next stream is Monday night. I believe Vixter and I will be streaming, or I'll be streaming with Vixter in Shrouded. It's a demo. It's a RPG survival game. It's out in demo. It looks fun. I've seen a couple of streamers stream it.
Is it like Conan style or something else?
Yeah. It's like Conan style, but it's probably more like Valheim, but I think slightly better graphics.
Oh, might have to have a go.
Yeah, you'll have to take a look at it. Maybe we'll bring you on the stream.
Yeah.
And then I'm back on Wednesday night playing Little Nightmares 2, where Blue Witch sits beside me and provides live commentary as I kill off the main character many, many, many times. I love Little Nightmares 2. I love the Little Nightmares series. And so that's for the next couple of, that's for the next week.
Yeah.
Please come and join us on that. Yeah. And how long do you think this is going to take? We're all just waiting. Oh, sorry. And then what I'm going to do is put this in a jar.
Okay.
Do you want to put it in one of these spring jars?
Oh, it's looking good. Looking good. No, it's too big.
Okay.
I'm thinking about 2 of the 1 cup ones. You know, the taller ones? Yes.
These here?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if we have any more.
Well, there's the fat one then. The squat fat one.
I'm sorry.
Just calling. See, you had the squat fat one. No, down there. You see that big wide mouth one?
That one. I didn't see that. Yes.
Okay, the wide mouth jar.
The wide mouth jar.
Not the big fat one.
It's like, you're being rude to me.
Rude. Try our best.
So we're just hanging on, folks, until the
muffins are, and they're looking amazing. So
and we'll test them out on stream.
Worth sitting and seeing. Okay, waiting and seeing.
Yes, worth hanging out to check to see. This one might actually come out okay.
The way they should do.
Okay. The good thing about this cranberry sauce, you pop it into the fridge, it will last us. It will last us for.
Well, I was just talking about that. It would last definitely 2 weeks. I'm not certain how long.
But we can also pop
But we
it in the
always
freezer.
freeze it.
Yeah. So we'll pop it in the freezer as well.
Now you've missed us because through the summer we made watermelon pickle and things.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be something for next year.
Yeah, we might do a pickle stream. May we be?
Oh yeah, we have a little bit left and a little bit of.
Right. Do you want me to put one of them in the freezer?
Yes.
Do you want me to put this one?
Whichever. Last little bit here.
Actually, I'm going to take a picture of that. So yeah, I guess that's the other thing. What kind of food do you guys use? What kind of Christmassy foods do you guys look forward to? Oh,
Sorry, I stole it, didn't I?
you did. You did.
I'm sorry. I've been so organized, I stole it. Just gonna move that for you. I'm glad we got a dishwasher.
I know. It's called Sea Hag.
Shh!
I know.
Tell them that makes it seem like I'm being really mean to you. We got sea hag and a dishwasher. Hey, dog. We haven't quite got to the point where we let the dog lick the dishes before they go in the
God, no.
I do see people doing that, and I'm like,
No, I wouldn't do that. That's just me.
Okay. All right. So, anything else?
No, that's
In
it.
terms of updates.
I think that's it. We're just waiting for the muffins to come out. So we're just putting the leftover crumble. Gonna freeze this too.
Yep, that's gonna go in the freezer. Okay. That's gonna go in the freezer.
There we go.
Waste not, want not, because then that means if you make something and you want to do it quickly, you've already got these things pre-prepared. I like the idea of stuff pre-prepared, makes it a bit easier.
Yes. I agree, Sniggly.
I'm glad I have your agreement, Sea Hag. It's not often you agree. Doob. Where's the little prodder?
You mean the little cake tester?
Yeah.
I love it. She calls it the prodder. It's the cake tester.
Doob.
All right. Oh my God, they're huge!
They're huge, isn't they?
Oh my God!
Let's give them a few more moments. They're
All right, I gotta take a picture of that.
yes, when they come out.
Yeah.
These ones
actually-
they
this
should
one-
be proud of these ones.
These are the ones that came out very much better. Much better. That, yeah. So what's the lesson? What is the lesson we learned?
I would make more mixture.
No, that's not the lesson. The lesson is...
Oh, practice before you. And also too, maybe if you rolled it in the foil, so it keeps it moist and it's got used to being rolled.
Maybe. Maybe. Look at that. We could look at that.
Yes, but practice. Practice before you actually go, woohoo, look at me do this.
Yeah.
They're nearly there.
Let's see, what else can we say? Yeah. Certainly the other thing is in the Share Your Love of Food channel, please feel free to add suggestions for what we can cook on the stream, or answer any questions you might have. If you're looking at particularly like how we do things, how we make a particular cake, how we deal with Whitby. What? I know. Nope.
Scoot.
No.
Scoot.
Come here.
Come on.
Come on. Go on.
Sit in the chair.
Sit in the chair. Quiet. Quiet.
She doesn't like being ignored. Okay, so let's have a look at these and prod them again. They look done.
Yeah, they look done. All right, guys. The grand unveiling.
Da-da-da-dum.
Dun 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 dun. They look awesome.
Awesome.
Like, I cannot believe how much they've come out. And the
Cream cheese?
no, well, you can see but the crumble on top just adds such a nice
It does.
color
Yes.
color palette to it.
It does indeed. Okay.
All right. We should have started off with this.
We should have done, shouldn't we?
Look at that. Oh. Okay, hang on. Let me take a picture. Oh.
So this one, I use this as the first one because it's bold on the top.
Bold on the top. All right.
This is why when they do the baking programs and they're doing competition, they do several. So
That's
they can
right.
pick out the best ones.
Okay.
Okay, so can you see this?
Yep.
Okay, so here we go.
Oh, look at that.
So there's our cream cheese. That
Just
bit of
kinda-
egg is set.
Oh, it did set.
Mm.
Set nicely.
Yep, and there's our little bit of fruit in there. Now we would cut probably better once they're cool.
Yes. I'll take a better picture of it when it's cool. But we're going to give it a taste.
Yeah,
Let's give it a go.
let's give her a go.
Oh, it's just so light and fluffy.
Yep. Oh, oh, hot the
Hot,
fingers.
hot, hot, hot. All right. So, but just to take a look. Let's see, make sure. Can you make sure I'm showing? This is it's just so moist and fluffy.
Yeah, and lift it up a bit.
It's just nice. It's got the cherries. What else did you put into it? Walnuts, cherries,
And some more of the ginger.
and some more of the ginger? No, well, the dog just grabbed it. Mmm. Mmm.
Nice, eh?
Oh God, that's so nice.
Mm. I mean, it takes the spice.
Mm-hmm.
So having 3 teaspoons of spice actually was okay.
Mmm. Oh.
It has a strong taste of that. It carries it the strong taste there.
Yeah.
Kind of wanting to get my piece of fruit in here.
But you know, again, the ginger isn't coming through as much.
Okay, so we learned there. Do it slightly bigger.
But it's beautiful. I mean, it's lush too. It's so moist and gentle. It's just so moist and fragile.
Yes. So you should try a bit with cherry.
Yeah.
Did you get the cherry last time?
Yeah, I got the cherry last time. But I will add the cherry. Mmm. Mmm. Yes, that dried cherry is nice. Mmm. Okay. Well, this one was a definite winner.
Mm. Absolutely. And see, they're ginormous.
They're huge.
It was meant to make 12.
12 to 14. But
So how big they are on the 12.
Mhm.
If you have a smaller muffin, as I say, we normally have a smaller muffin case. You'd get plenty and you could still freeze it.
How much sugar did it go in?
Half a cup.
Half a cup? That's not bad.
No.
Okay, guys. So
There you go.
There you go.
Success.
success.
Two,
That is
two
the
out of
end.
3.
We are wrapping up. Like I say, come check us. So the next Witch's Pantry stream
November.
will be November 4th. My next CHAG 16 stream will be Monday evening with Enshrouded with Vixter. And again, we will be on Wednesday doing Little Nightmares 2 and with Blue giving live running commentary on how badly I am doing on the game. So, other than that, guys, thank you again for dropping by. Thank you to Vixter, Grim Forge, Naruto, Real Dog Smith, Sheffy Wolfie, Wolfie Sheffy, Sheffy, I call him Sheffy, and everybody else. And we shall, and thank you to Vixter for the sub. I'm very much appreciated. Other than that, you all have a good Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. Enjoy the weather. It looks fabulous. We all have to go out and enjoy before before the snow comes. Take care, guys.
We're giving those out for Halloween. Was that?
Are we giving them out for Halloween? No.
We're not sharing.
Not sharing. Take care. Take care, Vixter.